Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about sanding blocks, the simplest sanding blocks ever. And this one is brand new. I just made it last week, a couple weeks ago. This one I literally made 40 years ago. 40 years ago. I was like 40 years younger. And it still works. Of course it works. Got one of these. It works. You see that? I think it was 80 grit paper. It came from a 3x24 belt, sanding belt for a belt sander. And the one I made the other day is, what is that paper? That's kind of like a 150 grit, something like that. Maybe 120. And this is from a 4-inch by maybe 24. But I wanted to know, I kind of wanted to replace this, the 80 grit. So what I've got here, I just found it's one that it's been there forever. It's 40 grit, which, you know, every grit has their moments. It's a 3x, I think it's 24. Because this way, 3x18 probably. Because 9 inches and double that up around 18. So, this is off the cuff, simple, the easiest thing you've ever done. We don't need wedges to replace the paper and put it back and then store it like it's an encyclopedia. We just need a sanding block that we can put in the back of the truck and go. And if you lose it, make another, because it takes like 5 minutes. First step, let's cut it to length. 9 inches might do it. So we're going to cut it 9 inches by 2 7/8. Let's do that. We call this the double shot. We're going to cross cut it to 9 inches. And you could use 1x material. I like using 1-inch thick material. So it's 5/4 deck board because it feels a little better in the hand. So I'm going to measure 9 inches. I could set up my stop block. I got my dust collection. Switch my dust collection over. I'm going to come back here one more time and I'm just going to notch the corners a little bit, and then we're going to go round over the corners. And you don't have to measure anything, just kind of make a little chamfer, kind of like that. Okay, chamfer the corners. See that? Let's go inside where the sander is and round it over. So here we go. We're going to need this. We're going to need the block, the paper, and a staple gun. And this is an 18 gauge staple gun. The staples are only a 1/2 inch long, so they're not going to penetrate through the backside. Even if they were 1 inch long, which I did on this block, I gave them just a slight angle, plus they got a little material, they did not come through. So, there's the seam in the paper. We're going to cut that seam with a knife. So simple. So simple. A test fit we're overlapping, so you know that number was good. It could be 9 inches, it could be 9.5, it could be 8.5, something like that. So here's what we're going to do. We want to have the final seam toward the end. You don't want to put it right in the middle. So if you pull it around to where it's kind of like that, but then we're going to bury the first side and just put one staple in there to hold it in place. Well, what happened? Did it go through? There, one staple. I pull it tight, put pressure over here. Also with that one staple, it allows you to pivot from that point. So we make it snug. I'm putting pressure down here, pressure on the block, and then we're going to roll it over, line it up, and staple it down. You want the staples to be flush, but not embedded, because if they're embedded, the paper will come loose. They could be flush, they could even be proud, and you could tap them back down later with a hammer. That's it. That's 100% it. That's going to last you a lifetime. And I've proven it with this one. Even though this one still works fine, I made this one the other day just to have a different grit. And maybe this might have been in the trailer. It might have been out of my reach. And I thought it's always nice to have trailer tools and shop tools. And so anyway, I wanted a heavier grit block. It's so simple. It's never going to let go. It's not going to slip or shift or pivot. And you don't need to replace the paper because it's going to last you forever. And what if it only lasts you 10 years? Then make a new one. It only takes a few minutes. Hopefully that helps you with whatever you're making. And you don't need a drawer full of these. You need a few. A few different grits is all you need. It's a great little tip. Hope it helps. Take care.